Welcome back. It's Lach and Raph, and as always, we are on a mission to dramatically improve the health and fitness of Australia's top business executives and leaders, which is why today we're going to be talking about how you can eat clean on any menu. Clean looks a little bit of a buzzword, but basically how you can stick to your diet, how you can eat lower calorie, higher protein on any menu. I'm talking about like a Hungry Jack's menu, a Subway menu, or fancy restaurants. You know, some of the top Mimi's restaurant, very famous, a Toddy's, you know, all the top restaurants. How to read any menu, decipher it, and be able to go, this is going to work for me, this is not going to work for me. So while we go through this as well, what I want you to think about is your own goals and how this applies, and maybe the last time you ate out, and maybe some different choices that you should make. And I think also should be said that this is not to like demonize food, right? We're not trying to go to the menu and only choose certain things. And, you know, I think eating out and breaking bread with friends and family and people that you love and you care about, all different contexts, is like a very human part of is a part of the human experience, and I wouldn't want to somehow negatively influence that. There are many ways that you can just go to a restaurant, not care at all about what's on the menu, and just enjoy yourself, right? But if you are in a situation where you find yourself out a lot and you need some strategies, this is the episode for you. But doesn't mean every time you go up to a restaurant or somewhere you want to eat and just enjoy yourself that you have to apply these principles. It's nice to know. You don't always have to use it.
No, I think it's great to know, because I find that if you get really good at this, you can eat out more often, which is just like really fun without disrupting your health and fitness goals.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so first thing is to remember that the goal of any restaurant is to not keep you on your diet. It's to have you coming back to buying more food. And that means making the food as tasty as possible, which means that no matter like how hard you try or what restaurant you go to, unless it's maybe like raw fish at a Japanese restaurant, generally going to be cooking things with extra sugar and extra fat, right? Just to make things more tastier. We know you add sugar, salt, and fat, it's going to make food more tastier.
Oh, yeah.
And so like when you eat at home, the food that you eat at home generally tastes different. Is because you just haven't added all that extra stuff in behind the scenes. So just know that their goal, their incentive is to keep you coming back and buying. And that's going to be about optimizing taste, which is obviously not going to be as favorable in terms of keeping calories low.
Yeah.
So first things that I always look for on a menu is the protein sources, right? What are going to be my top protein sources here? We know protein is the most important macronutrient in any diet. So if it's an Italian restaurant, sometimes you might find, okay, there's like no protein on this menu. It's like pizza, pasta, and cheeses, right? Okay, maybe in this scenario, you're kind of out of luck. So it's like a little bit more damage control. But if you go to McDonald's, there's some protein sources here. There's like burgers. I could take the patties out. I don't have to eat the buns. I can take the cheese off, all that sort of stuff. There's nuggets, even though they're deep fried. It's mostly a protein source, a lot of fat in there as well. But what I look for is I scan the menu and I go, okay, where are my protein sources here? And generally, I'm going to lean a little bit more towards those protein sources. And then if there's like variations of like the same food, like for example, if there's like a pasta dish, I might end up choosing the pasta that has maybe more meat on it than the other pastas potentially. Not always, but it's just always important to know. So locating your protein source is number one. Number two is like fiber. Like where can I get fiber? Is really important for digestion. Fiber is really important for feeling full. If I just kind of avoid all the fiber on the menu, I'm going to have a hard time feeling full, and I'm probably going to more likely to overeat. So like, are there sides of like salads? Are there sides of vegetables? You know, whole grains have a lot of fiber in them as well. Are there going to be like whole grains on the menu that I can consume as well? So looking for my fiber sources, and then looking for your fat sources as well. So people always go, oh, well, I'm not going to have the bread, but the halloumi has way more calories than the bread.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because the bread, unless you put like loads of oil and butter on it, generally it's just carbohydrates. They're only 4 calories per gram, whereas fats, they're so much more dense, so much more energy dense. You spread them over everything.
Yeah. If you go to an Italian restaurant, like, oh, there's the bread before, but like I skipped that. I just ate the pizza and pasta. It's like, dude, you done yourself no favors. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no favors. Yeah. So locating the fats on the menu and going, okay, this is really high fat. So something that has a lot of oil, a lot of butter, a lot of cheese on it, those are going to be your higher fat options. Generally, I'm trying to avoid those. Or as we'll talk about later, some strategies of separating those oils out from the foods. So yeah, highest priorities generally for me, whole grains, vegetables, and vegetable salads and meats. Those are like what I'm going to try and optimize for. Cool. Then when we break that down a little bit more, when we're talking about meats, lower calorie, higher protein generally is you're going to be moving towards fishes and white meats. and then high calorie meats is going to be like your red meats, essentially. Yeah. So if you're always choosing steak on the menu and you're wondering why like it's hard to lose weight, steak at a restaurant might be one of the highest calorie foods on the menu. Like a Wagyu,
Yeah.
shut the gate. That thing is loaded with calories. Yeah. Lots of protein.
Delicious.
Like that's why when you eat a heavy steak, you feel really full. It's
Yeah.
because it just has so many calories in it.
Yeah.
Steak is one of the highest calorie foods there is. So yeah, if you're choosing meats and you're like, I still want to err on the low calorie side, fishes, white meats,
Chicken breast.
yeah, chickens, white fish, especially like
Yeah.
red fishes, like pink fishes like salmon, tuna, a little bit high calorie as well. And then there's actually one that I was talking about. I was eating out with a friend recently, and I said, I think sometimes appetizers are like better than the main course. He goes, oh, sometimes I go out and I only order the appetizers. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I've always thought like you should get appetizers into mains, which you can. But one strategy you could use is like, I'm just going to order appetizers or I'm just going to order mains rather than ordering both. Because generally if you order both, you're going to end up eating more calories. But if you just go, you know what, tonight if they got a really nice appetizer menu, they got raws and then they got little appetizers, medium appetizers, maybe just share a bunch of those. Maybe just order 10 appetizers and have more of a tapas style meal, and don't feel like then you have to order a bowl of pasta and a big piece of steak afterwards. Just give yourself permission to go, okay, it's just going to be all appetizers tonight. I mean, everyone's had the experience of like eating the appetizers going, oh, that's so delicious. Like, oh, we got more food coming. Oh no, I don't know if I can eat it, but it comes out and you paid for it and it's expensive. You go, well, okay, I'm going to finish it anyway. And then the opposite is like, we're not going to do any appetizers tonight. Let's just like have a fish with like a salad.
Yeah.
Like, let's not feel like we have to order the first course. Again, of course you can, but it's like a strategy to think about as well. The next one is all the sauces and all the creams, like basically anything is creamy, saucy, fatty, or rich, or dairy. If there's an option, see if you can get them to separate it out. So if there's like a certain sauce, one thing that I always use so you don't feel like you're too fussy is like, oh, I'm like potentially a little bit allergic to some of these things, but I won't know for sure. Can you put the sauce just on the side and I can just trial it when it comes out?
Then they say you like smashing it. They're like, do you say you're allergic?
I said maybe.
Allergic to too much of it.
I said maybe. And that's just like having it on the side. Not everyone will do it, but a lot of places will do it on the side. It's just a really easy way to control it. And I'll tell you what, like a little, 20, 30 mils of sauce, be surprised how many calories it has in it.
Oh, yeah. We remember that time we did grilled.
Yeah.
And it was like, I think it was like, we were having the chips with the, what's that sauce we have? Like,
it's like the Chipotle sauce, like mayo.
The white,
sauce
like a mayo
it's like a
white
white sauce, yeah.
And there was like 500 calories or something in it. Like, so basically I remember it was more calories in the tiny little sauce
than the chips.
Than the whole thing of chips.
Yeah. Nuts.
Which is just nuts. So putting on the side, like just controlling it is a great idea.
It kind of tricks you because food volume is a weird thing. And what that means, like you can have a lot of volume, like berries, right? Imagine like 2 fistfuls of berries is probably 50%, 60% less calories than like a little container of sauce.
Yeah, like a little, like a heaped teaspoon.
Yeah. So you can just get so many calories from such a small amount of food volume, right? So that's just one thing to be aware of. Because people think, oh, it's sauce. It's like not even that much sauce, but it's a lot of calories. So just one thing to consider there. Now, a couple of other restaurant hacks as well is I always like to remove cheeses and spreads as well. So if there's an opportunity in like burgers and that sort of stuff, I say no cheese, or like the spreads, I say like no butter or whatever on it. And then also when there's options, sometimes I say, is there a grilled version of this? There's like a chicken burger. But maybe it's only listed as a fried chicken, but there's other grilled chicken on the menu. I go, hey, I know there's a grilled chicken thing there. Can I do a grilled chicken patty in this burger instead? Does that work for you guys? Yeah, great. So grilled versus fried, also good options as well. So there you have it. There's a good way of kind of breaking down the menu. Summarize it again. So going through locating your proteins, locating your fiber sources, and then locating where your fats are, prioritizing vegetables, whole grains, and meats. With meats, choosing white meats and fishes over red meats. Either choosing like all appetizers or all mains as a strategy for like limiting calories, avoiding creamy, saucy, fatty, rich dairy options, having sauces on the sides, and then removing spreads and cheeses from dishes where you can.
I'll throw in one more bonus. I think it's like a way to approach it, which is one mistake I think I've made and I think other people make is they go, oh, I know I'm going to eat like quite a, probably extra calories, right? Because you're going out, you probably are going to eat extra calories at a restaurant, like nearly guaranteed. Compared to home cooked food. So like, well, I'll eat less during the day so that I've got like then like, it's outweighed by what I ate at night. I think that's the worst strategy you could have, because what typically that's going to do is you're going to just get there really, really hungry. And when you get there really, really hungry, you're probably going to make more bad choices, because like the desserts and the fried chicken look awesome when you're starving. But 2, you're just going to eat more. And a big part is just like how much you actually end up eating there. So just turning up like not starving and having like, maybe you have like your full normal food at home. So you go there, you're like, oh yeah, like this food's delicious. Like I still want to eat. If you go to a nice restaurant, you're not going to be like, oh, I don't want anything. Yeah. Like it looks good. You're going to eat it. You're going to enjoy it, but you're not going to be as tempted, or I personally, to like overeat. And just how much you do eat at the restaurant is definitely a factor.
Well, I like the hybrid version of that, which is like, I won't starve myself all day, but I will reduce the portion sizes of breakfast and lunch leading into dinner. Or I might have like a protein shake before dinner just to like curb that.
Yeah, protein shake before dinner can work really, really well. Yeah. And it obviously depends like where you're at with your dieting and stuff. But yeah, just not, or even just, sometimes I find even going in and just deciding in advance, like I'm going to go, but like I'm not going to get a dessert.
Yeah.
But deciding in advance, not when the waitress comes out, like, oh, like which dessert would you like? You're like, oh, well, I guess I can't not have one.
This is why it helps to go out with a fitness card, because they're like, dessert? Like, no.
Yeah, don't even show us.
We're good. Oh, good. Everyone's on the same page. No one's looking at each other like, oh, should we get dessert?
Yeah, it's pretty astonishing, right? Because you can have a pretty normal dinner and the dessert will ruin the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, it certainly will. But it will be delicious.
It will.
So there you have it. That's how you can read any menu while eating clean on a diet. As always, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll speak to you on the next episode. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If you want to get the information in this episode and more, you can download the 30-day health optimization blueprint, which is all the tools and tactics that we use with our clients every day for 30 days. We'll deliver you an email in your inbox. Just head to lockerroomgym.com/blueprint to get the emails. That's lockerroomgym.com/blueprint.